Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last week, which means it is still Girl Chat March. But today we're not playing a game. Today we're getting into some topics. As you can see from the title of the video below, today we're going to talk about unlearning. I think that your 20s are such a weird time where on top of learning stuff about life, you also have to unlearn so many stuff. Yeah. So today we're just gonna talk a little bit about that, like what our experience has been like so far with unlearning, and what are some of the toughest things that we have to like overcome. Okay, for me, I think the biggest thing really is parent pleasing.
So glad I don't have a problem with this. Like, I'm so glad because
it's so bad. I think Nana, you're also there.
Yeah.
Parent pleasing. Like, I think for me especially, right, when I think about what happened when I went to university and saw the world and my mind was opened, I think of it feels like I was asleep all my life. And what mattered most was just pleasing my parents. Like, I did not exist outside of my parents. And I even remember, like in high school, I told myself that, listen, I'm gonna listen to my parents. If it makes my parents happy, then that's what it's about.
And that's what I'm doing. I feel like everyone has that instilled in them, like the whole parent pleasing thing. But then for you, it's probably like, overly. You overly do it. Because I feel like now I have it, but like at a normal rate, like just normally. Everyone wants their parents to be happy, and everyone wants to make their parents happy.
I think for me, I do have that because it stems from my sister not doing like the right things in front of my parents' eyes. So I've always wanted to be like, I don't want this to happen again. I don't want them to go through this again, because I saw the stress, I saw how they were feeling, I saw the breakdowns. So now for me, it's a thing of I'm phonic pinde Wednesday. I don't want to be the second person to make them go through this. So I have to do everything by the book.
I think also it's that thing of, you see how genuinely happy your parents are when you do exactly what they want you to do. And the thing is, you want to make them happy.
Exactly. But the thing is, you cannot live your life like that. You cannot live your life for your parents. Like, I think I'm so glad I learned that at an early age.
And that's like been troublesome.
That like also, the thing is, I'm different. One thing I don't like about my parents is that they want to mold you in this they want to mold you into this person that they want. Right? And it's like, you're not, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to be that person. So like, that's why I just learned from an early age, and deal, right?
And that's that on that.
Deal. I think for me, my unlearning that I have to do is definitely hyper independence. I love my independence.
Way too much.
I do, but you see, the thing is, it's always like a positive until it's not. Like, honestly, when you look at it from like the outside, you'll be like, this is so great, she's so independent, like she can do so self-sufficient, she can do all these things by herself, right? But then it's like, when it stems from like trauma, or when it stems from something that's unhealthy, it's like, is it? And it's like, I want to not be so independent, but it's also like, I can't really trust people enough not to be, But anyways, it's something that
in what ways has it negatively manifested its way in your life, especially relationships?
Okay, relationships, it's like, people want to express their love to you in certain ways, and sometimes it's like their love language is maybe gifts, right? And it's like, I'm so independent that I feel weird accepting a gift from someone, right? Because I'm like, I can do it myself, like I'm cool, like I don't need it, like I don't need it from you. But yes, I definitely think that like I should you know, accept things from people, and I shouldn't let my independence not do that, like hinder me from actually experiencing love from other people. Does that make sense? But it's also like, it doesn't mean that you can't do something for yourself. I'm just extending my love. I'm just showing you, you know. So it can get very toxic because it's like I let it hinder me a lot in my life, basically.
I was gonna say that if someone does something for you, you feel like it takes away from your independence or your capability of taking care of yourself.
Yes, exactly.
I think that when it comes to things like hyper independency, not even that, trusting someone with something of yours, because my mom is a hyper independent and she groomed me to be that, but I'm not really that. What I've learned is that ultimately, if you trust yourself, that's enough.
Okay.
Like if I trust that I can take care of myself, imagine I'm allowing Unana to take care of me. Doesn't mean I'm losing my ability to take care of myself. It doesn't take away from it. So I can allow myself to depend on her, and allow myself to enjoy the gifts of the love relationship that we have. If it ends, I'd still be able to take care of myself. So I think ultimately it's ultimately the root of it all is the lack of trust in yourself. That if you allow somebody else, all of a sudden you're gonna magically lose your ability to take care of yourself.
Now for me, it's a thing of I can't ask for help. I can't. It's like I want to do this and I will do this on my own. Even if nginganawo ama resources okuyenza lento, but into yokuthi ngizozenzela mina. You know, I think it also stems from like angazi ukuthi childhood or whatever, but into yokuthi nje ngihleli ngizenza izinto mina njalo kubhekwe mina, you know, yonke into it's just unana. So to me, I feel like I have to do this. Like nobody else can do this for me.
I also have that problem.
So think of nobody else can do it for me.
And also,
are you able
and it
to
can't be
receive?
done right if oyenziwa omunye umuntu ngekwazi ukwenza kahle.
So on top of not being able to ask for help, are you able to receive help when it's offered?
Yeah, I think I can, but I feel like I owe you. I feel like when you do something for me, you pay back somehow. You know.
Weirdly enough, for me though, guys, this whole feeling like you owe someone thing, I feel it with family.
Okay.
I don't know if. Do you guys think it has to do with culture as well? With our African culture, I feel like parents expect a return, which is weird because isn't that where unconditional love is supposed to be? And that's where it is, right? Like your family can never blasher you and whatever. But I can't help but feel like I have to give a return on investment. You know, it's like if you invest, you gotta give a return on investment. So I always feel like I have to bring value to the family. You know that the African belief that when you bear a child,
Ballet's izinto
ezinhle, you know what about Kuzulula? Maybe it is Kuzulula, but now it's been so deeply engraved in me since childhood that like they're expecting quality of life to get better because of me. And then when I feel like I don't bring back any value, I'm just like, oh, the useless. And even the useless within me, how can I be useful in the world in general? And it's quite scary.
It is scary.
This whole parent pleasing thing is just like it's scary. What I'm beginning to learn is that before you are your mother's child, you are God's creation. Like before that. And with that being said, your first priority is finding your purpose, God's purpose, your creator's purpose, or the universe's purpose for having you here. Before anything and everything else.
Or like I'm always like, parents just don't get it. Like they just don't get it. And I feel like we just don't get them. So it's like, you know, and I think that's what happens when you're in your 20s. It's like you're growing into this whole entire person and they're already grown, and it's like, no, I'm becoming this person, but no, this is, you know,
this
so
is how
it's
must do
it's a lose-lose situation.
It's
like,
such a lose-lose.
And the other thing is we're growing in such a different era from them things are
They were
so
so
different,
different.
and them trying to transition to like the 21st century is
Yeah.
also difficult.
For them.
Exactly.
And we must understand ukuthi nabo they're also learning.
Yeah, it's us
And
tutelary
unlearning.
parents for me.
We are one
That's so
Yeah,
true.
that
It's
is
so
very
true.
true.
They also have to go through a lot of learning and unlearning. The
as
same
much
way.
as we are going through unlearning and learning,
Yeah.
they are also going through it.
Exactly.
And yeah, I'm finding for me, my grandma and and the rest of my family are actually open to the idea of, you know, ukuvuleleka.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not like it's not like banero,
Yeah.
abafuna ukumamela or
Yeah.
whatever. But as soon as they learn something new, they ask questions
Yeah.
and you explain and they understand.
Yeah.
They try, they mold their best ukuthi bashifte. You know, but
Yes.
it's difficult, but they're trying.
It's very difficult.
It's
Yeah.
difficult for both sides. For
Yeah.
real. It's very frustrating for me because I didn't go through this in my teenage years. Like some people go through a teenage stage where they feel like their parents don't get it, they
Yeah.
don't get them, and then there's a drift in the relationship,
Yeah.
and the parents feel like they can't connect with the child. The child feels like mom will never understand or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't go through that. Like I said, for me, it feels like I was asleep. For me, I was right on track. I was exactly what they wanted me to be, and I was
Yeah.
happy being exactly what they want to be. So now the biggest stress is the drift. I
Yeah.
feel like it's stressing me so much because
Yeah.
I feel it, and I'm like, I just want us to be good. Can we just be
Try.
good?
Can you be good again?
Can we be good again?
How's about that?
How's about that? Like, cause I'm so awkward now. Yo, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But beyond that, can we talk about how it's also just them giving us the freedom to actually find ourselves. I don't like how they always make examples of previous people
Yep.
who did stuff and they failed at that stuff.
But it's also like i-blueprint yakhe umuntu is ngaba bantu like it's these people.
The ones that are very close by.
Yes.
Small circle.
Yeah.
Full circle of people who they are so sure that's how life works.
And you know what? Even if we don't know anything, let's just say they're right, we're wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be a bit more room for us to find ourselves.
Yeah. Unlearning. It's a lot, guys.
It's a lot. and another thing that I must try to unlearn
Yeah.
is people pleasing.
Yeah.
I have a lot of that. Like, I feel like everything that I do or mele ngenze ukuthi umuntu othile, like I mustn't be the bad person at all towards other people. I
Yeah.
must always be usmile.
Yes.
You know, I must never be bad. For example, if me nagi busy, you know, and someone texts me and be like, I need your help, I'm always like, they need my help.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
have to.
I must drop whatever I'm doing and attend to them because I don't want to lose that relationship with that person. I don't want that person to feel like I'm not
visit you in a different
there.
way.
Yep.
Yes, I'm not there. I feel like it also stems from my past friendship. And then in the what did I do wrong? You know, I'm always
Yeah.
trying to find what am I doing wrong? What can I
Yes.
improve? You know,
Yes.
not knowing this is toxic for me. You know.
Yeah.
That's so true.
No,
That's so true. And
definitely.
that's the biggest thing with people pleasing is that it has an acceptance thing about it. Like you want this person to accept you and to think that you're a certain kind of person.
Exactly, and you're not organic towards that person.
Yeah.
You're not yourself at all. You're someone else.
Utu Kuku Letu
Yeah.
on her podcast about people pleasing says that people pleasing is actually being manipulative AF because you're creating a certain facade so that certain people can like you.
Definitely. I'm so glad.
Oh, you're not that type. I'll see you on the
No,
other side.
guys.
You literally don't care what other people.
Guys, it's so freeing. Come, he's up.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
So
Step by
freeing,
step.
Pasana.
Step by step.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, what you struggle with might not be what I struggle with, but it's like to some extent I get it because I'm like, I probably don't struggle with it to your point, but like I still struggle with it.
So yeah,
To a certain level.
Yeah. And like Oprah had the exact same issue.
Yeah.
But then she said that the one time that she was able to let it go was when she recognized she's a good person and she doesn't have to do all these things to prove that she's a good person. You are a good person, like literally, like just believe that. Have you ever tried to set a boundary and then feel guilty about it?
Yes.
Oh,
Multiple times. And the guilt, for example, remember, I always feel the need to explain myself, even if it's weeks after. I'm like, oh, I need to tell them why I did this.
Yeah.
They must understand why I did this. You know. Except, for example, you know, now I came here, I'm like, I just remind you.
I need to tell you guys why.
You know why I did this.
That's so
I feel like I should also unlearn I have to explain myself. Sometimes I need to do something. Sometimes I need to do something and you guys explain why.
Literally, it's the guilt is the worst, guys. Like in the moment you'll be like, I'm setting boundaries. I'm teaching people how to treat me right. Stuff like that. I love that. Treat me right. Okay. And then I do it, and then I'm so guilty
afterwards.
And you
sit down
and you overthink it, and you're just like, yo, this is so bad. Oh my goodness. And one thing about
being an overthinker.
Set boundaries.
That's not one thing about me. And I do not feel guilty. I do not feel bad. I'm just like, it is what it is, bro.
But like 20s are just so freaking weird. I cannot get over how weird this stage is, and I want it to end, but at the same time,
you don't.
It's so much fun.
I'm actually very excited for this. It feels like a metamorphosis. You know, like something. Like it feels like big changes are happening. What is this? Like, you know, it feels like the making of my life, and I'm loving it. Like I'm loving it. I'm like, I love this. What is this?
It's exciting but uncomfortable.
Scary.
It's that uncomfortable. It's like a roller coaster. You're excited to be on the ride, but also it's so scary.
And I never do like roller coasters, so.
But you're on one right now.
But I'm on one, but
it literally feels like that because like it is. I get you. I have moments where I'm just so excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to.
And I'm excited for my friends. Like I'm so excited for my friends.
I can't wait to be celebrating one another. Like I'm here for those celebratory dinners.
Dude, I'm like, you tell her, girl. Tell your mother. What?
Yo, guys, mother-daughter relationships are something else. Story for another day.
Definitely.
But then thank you so much for tuning in. Next week we are still carrying on with Girl Chat Much. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, like, share, comment, and remember, this is a channel that's about
Kindness.
being kind to yourself and being kind to others. I love you.
You're so nervous.